Retrograde, it's already rearing its ugly head.
Cursing, shaking fisted sky, saying, "Curse you, Mercury retrograde." Yeah, it is. It's retrograde. It's retrograde for the next 3 weeks. It went retrograde in Aquarius, but now it's in the sign of Capricorn. So wherever Mercury retrogrades is where things are bound to be done over again, bound to be repeated, miscommunication, that kind of thing. So I think everybody needs to know where that is and what they can do with it. We are in the sign of Capricorn, and the Buccaneers in particular need to pay attention to this. Please don't pick a head coach while Mercury is retrograde, because the last 3 head coaches we picked when either Mercury was retrograde, Venus was retrograde, or Mars was retrograde. And
they've all been do-overs.
And they've all been do-overs. And the only guy that we picked that was not done during a Mercury retrograde was John Gruden. So those that don't remember the past are doomed to repeat it. So about Capricorns, it's about new starts for them in all 3 sense of the word. It's new starts, new ideas, new communications, and I just think they can get information now, but please don't make decisions until after the 26th. For Aquarius, they need to take a step back, and they need to be really careful with the things that they say, because they're the ones that are most likely to be misunderstood, because Mercury's in their 12th house. Their own words will come back to haunt them, and I've never liked eating my words. They don't taste very good.
No, they don't.
Aquarians don't want to do that either. For Pisces, it's a very testing kind of Mercury retrograde, because Mercury's in their 11th house, and something's going to be dangled in front of them that they really, really want, and a long-standing hope, wish, goal, and objective, and just as they go to reach for it, it's going to be snatched away, which I think is very frustrating, because those decisions won't be made again until after the 26th. For Aries, it is in their 10th house of career and public standing, and they also are trying to make headway professionally. They're trying to make headway with decision makers, judges, bosses, that kind of thing, and they're not going to really get a happy answer until this retrograde is over. And also, if they get a no, don't think it's a permanent no, because it's likely to be over again. For Tauruses, actually, this is not a bad Mercury retrograde for them. This is an easy one for Tauruses. It's in Capricorn. They just have to make sure their paperwork is right, their legal stuff is right, all their documents are in order. But it is not a deeply frustrating time for them. They're not likely to be misunderstood. It's likely that there'll be something missing that they're going to need to add to it in order to get their documentation straight. For Gemini, they need to be really careful and make sure they keep track of every single nickel and every single dime. Because this Mercury retrograde is in the 8th house of other people's resources. You make financial mistakes, bank makes mistakes, you think you have more money and you really don't. That bounces checks and creates a big mess. So money matters are going to be very complicated for Gemini. They're not going to like this at all. For Cancers, Mercury is retrograding in their 7th house of partners and open enemies. And it's going to be hard for a Cancer to decide, is somebody an open enemy or really an ally? You just don't know it right away. So they are going to need the help of their partners, people who are clearly on their side, to make to give Cancers what it is they say they want. For Leos, it's in their 6th house of work and responsibilities. And this is the kind of thing, especially people who are in radio, get sent out for a remote on one place and it ends up being another place. It has to do with trouble in the work area, miscommunication, not in professional stuff, but in the day-to-day doing of your job. You want to make sure you have a clear understanding of what is expected out of you. And any kind of medical test, get a 2nd and 3rd one. For Virgo, it's in the 5th house. Not a bad place. Love affairs, children's sports, amusements, pleasures, anything fun. Things that they'd like to do over again. If they're single, they'll attract someone. If they're married, that goes very well. Again, it's not a very difficult retrograde for Virgo. For Libra, not so easy. 4th house of home. There is some kind of problem at home, and they're not getting the whole story on it, and they're not sure how much it's going to end up costing them to repair it or fix it. So rather than doing something part way, I would wait until I had enough information to make an informed decision about what's the right thing to do at home, because it is quite a challenge for them. For Scorpio, it's in their 3rd house of day-to-day living, and they have to be careful not to backtrack. Start out doing one thing and end up backtracking and doing something over again. It's the type of thing where it just puts them behind the power curve, and then they end up playing catch-up for 2 or 3 weeks. For Sagittarians, it's about the money. Money flies out every possible hole or crevice, gone for them. So they have real difficulties with financial matters. So that's tomorrow's news today for the 12 signs of the zodiac, with Mercury retrograding in the sign of Capricorn.
Sounds to me like that old animal song. Oh, Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood.
So true. Ooh. So true.
See you next week.
Always a pleasure.